Hi there. This is the tech update being presented at the leadership meeting on December 3rd. It's recorded so all staff and subs can see the material and be prepared. We have been working on enhanced cybersecurity procedures in Wetaskiwin Regional Public Schools. So far, we have enabled two-factor authentication for Google. We have rolled out cybersecurity training for staff and students. And our third step here is to enable multi-factor authentication for Microsoft or Windows. So the information that I'm going to present seems a little convoluted and a little complicated, but if you remember that in a nutshell, these are the basic things. Really, you're going to have two apps running in the background on your phone. When you go to log into something, one of those apps will give you a code or will give you an approve message. You don't have to choose the app, it will happen automatically. So we have a chart here that goes into a little more detail, and I'm going to click on the link so that you can see it more clearly. It's got the program listed here, the group affected, old username, and let's start with the Google example. So all employees are affected by Google. Our old username is to log in using our email address, and there's no change. You have your WRPS password, but if you have changed your password directly in Google, this will be a Google password. When you want to authenticate to Google, you will use your Google Authenticator app, which will send you a text to your cell phone or an email to WRPS, however you have set it up. Please note that we are no longer recommending the printed backup codes for Google and that the Authenticator app does not require a cell service or Wi-Fi connection and is the best way to go for Google authenticating. This started on October 28th. Let's look at PowerSchool. Our old username was our WRPS account, so the cord 5, first 4 letters, last and of your first name, and first 4 letters of your last name. There's no change to this, and it's the same password. The only difference here will be to authenticate, you'll get a code sent to your email. Let's look at Clever. All staff are affected. We used to use our WRPS, our first 4 letters of our first name, our first 4 letters of our last name, but that is now changed to our email address. Password stays the same, and you'll get a notification on your Windows Authenticator app, which we will download shortly. PowerSchool SIS used to be WRPS account, now is your email address, again, Authenticator app. When you go to log into your desktop computer, you will use your email address, but you don't need an authentication code. There's no code there yet. Subs, you're not impacted by PowerSchool or Clever. You primarily need access to Atrieve, and we'll send out a separate email to subs specifically to help fine-tune their processes. And we've got other programs, Public School Works, where it's to be determined, Box Clever, there's no change. Remote access, I didn't highlight in this presentation because not all staff use it. And you can contact EdTech or IT for more help if you're a remote access person. The good news is that students and parents in PowerSchool have no change. So to set up your Windows multi-factor authentication, you need to start with working on your desktop, and you'll click on this link. And I have a how-to video that will be coming out on a separate link for everyone to walk you through those steps. You also will need your cell phone handy because the first step's on your desktop and the second is by installing the app on your phone. This is the how-to video that I referred to. And this is the link that you will need to go to as staff to set up your Windows Authenticator app.
I'm going to explain the Authenticator apps. So when you have your Google Authenticator app downloaded and you click on it, you see that you have different codes being generated. This seems confusing at first, but this app is doing its job. As you can see on this first quarterly.feveland at WRPS 11, it's counting down. So this is my 6-digit code for that account for the entire time that little clock is there. It's about 1 minute for each code. So if I'm trying to log in to my Google account and it asks me for a code, that's the one I use. I also have Remote Desktop linked to my Google Authenticator app. So the second line is the code that I would use when I'm trying to get into Remote Desktop. I have access to a different Google account, the EdTech at WRPS 11 account, and you can see the third line, that's the code I would use if I was trying to log into that system. So some comments about the app. It's supposed to generate a new code every minute, so it looks like time is running out on you, but it's doing its job. This app is working correctly. Why do we recommend the app? We recommend the app because it does not rely on data plans or cell service. It's going to work in the background for you all the time. So whenever you need a code, it's there. So I'm going to now show you the Windows Authenticator app. That was Google, and right beside it, this little blue shield is the Windows Authenticator app. Now, my phone is saying Touch ID. So on my phone, I have to put my thumb on the home button to unlock my phone, and that was an extra security measure. So here I am now on my Windows Authenticator app, and it looks a little different, but I can tell it's linked to my WRPS account, and my one-time password is there, and I've got a countdown button, 10, 9, and when that gets to 1, it'll just generate a new code. So we are recommending the Authenticator apps for you because we can help support you with these, and they don't require data or cell service.
So what happens now? Keep your phone handy when you're logging into your computer. Depending on what you're logging into, you'll get a code from one of your apps, and these apps do not require Wi-Fi, cell, or a data plan, and printable backup codes are only for your Google app. If you need support, ask your neighbor or colleague at school, your tech lead teacher, your school administrator. You can email EdTech, and IT department is if you're having any trouble with your accounts. If you can't log in, it says you don't have an account or your invalid username or password. This will be enforced on December 13th for all staff.